Can you describe the experience of driving your new Eagle Talon in 10 seconds?
I could, but I'd rather show you in 6.3.
Did you know Eagle Talon is one of Automobile Magazine's top 10?
Talon has won several prestigious automotive awards, so what's one more?
Car and Driver's 10 Best.
We'll get you back to the Spectrum in a moment. I'm Pat O'Brien in New York City with a reminder that coming up on the Prudential at the Half, we'll check in on our doubleheader sites where the Knicks and Pistons are getting set for Game 4 downtown, and likewise the Lakers and Suns in Phoenix. And we'll show you what it's like to have the ball in your hands as the clock winds down and the game is yours to win. All that and more at a familiar place, the Prudential at the Half. Right now, let's go back to James and Tommy.
All right, Pat, and it certainly looks like they're having a lot of fun back there in New York. Chicago trailing by 4, and certainly a major key for Philadelphia today. Tommy will be defending the multifaceted one, Michael Jordan.
You've got to take away the direct approach to the hoop. You're going to see this would be the direct approach to the basket. You're going to see Ron Anderson try and force Michael Jordan off, angle him off the basket, make him take a poorer percentage shot, cut off the direct route once, twice, must pull it back out. No forcing that time by Jordan. In Game 3, Jordan took some pretty tough shots for him with good defense by Anderson.
And Tommy, you commented that Philadelphia did an excellent job of defending Michael Jordan, cutting off the angles, and yet he goes out and scores 49 points, 33 in the second half, 24 in the fourth quarter.
But he didn't do it in the first half, and that's when Philadelphia got the big lead, and he scored the points on off the press defense, getting out in the open court.
Jordan, accustomed to kind of being on cruise control in the first half, obviously has shifted gears considerably here in the first half today. 2:25 remaining in the first half. Mike Jaminski, who just can't miss. You hear a number of players and coaches talk about being in the zone. Well, this may be Mike Jaminski's zone. He's got 16 first half points and has hit his last 4 shots. King. And the spin moves that we've talked about so much working effectively for him.
Well, they turned him to his right hand, but he still got the left hand shot off.
4-point ball game, Sixers on top, 1:50 remaining in the first half. Hawkins has it stolen, and Rick Mahorn is going to get called for a holding foul. Michael Jordan will travel to the free throw line.
Going to see some low post moves. Jaminski takes him to the middle, draws the double team, then goes back to his left hand, and he's righty. You're going to see King right now. They're playing him to come down to the baseline, forcing him to his right hand, but he gets the left hand jump shot off. A little wrong-handed defense that time by Rick Mahorn. You got to keep your right hand up against the lefty.
Michael Jordan, 7 assists to go along with his 16 points. Make it 17. Tommy, you talked about, again, wrong-handed defense. Is it a natural move for a player to go up with the left hand, a right-handed player to go up with the left hand on defense?
Yeah, it kind of is. And against the right-handed player, you ought to have your left hand up. Your strong hand, if your right hand is your right hand naturally. You got to learn to play defense against the right-handed players with your left hand. And vice versa.
Well, you need a few hands to play against Michael Jordan. The ball didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock is down to 6 for Chicago. Paxson. Nice move by John Paxson, shooting with the offhand. And it's a tie ball game, 49-49, and just that quickly.
Good look that time by Dawkins as Hawkins had sneaked away.
And the no layup rule that we heard about at the top enforced that time as the personal foul was called on Rick Mahorn, his second personal foul, 15 foul.
All right, here's the no layup rule. Good hustle, up quick basketball gets Stacey King into the paint, and Mahorn just has to foul to save 2.
Tommy, now is that dirty basketball, or has it not been going on for a while?
You know, I think it's a lot of baloney, all the stuff I'm hearing. You know, I quite frankly believe coaches in the NBA try to manipulate the media. and get attention focused on something they think is going to be a problem for their ball club down the road. Now, yeah, Philadelphia is rough and tough and all the other stuff, but that has always been a part of the game. And I think one of the ideas of intimidation is not to hurt anybody, but is to get them away from what they're focusing on, the basket or anything else, their game plan, and get to play or get mad at the defender that's doing it, to lose their cool. And it's worked quite obviously with several of these teams when the Sixers have employed those, in essence, in quotes, underlined rough tactics. Every once in a while, they jump over the line.
Understand. John Paxson a little too aggressively that time, trying to prevent the penetration in the middle of Johnny Dawkins, picks up his second personal foul. Jimmy Lynam says he's really pleased with the development of Johnny Dawkins, who has taken on the leadership role necessary. Dawkins, fourth-year player out of Duke, nails both at the free throw line. Well, Rick Mahorn told you he doesn't consider it dirty. He says it's playing within the rules. He and Barkley both have said that. Jordan loses the ball. This is Dawkins, 3-on-2 to Barkley, traveling. And Michael Jordan comes down and just to make a statement, grabs that ball with both hands. That shot by Charles Barkley. Philadelphia plagued by turnovers here in the first half. They've got 11 and hold on to only a 3-point lead. Under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Purdue make it Paxson. King with the rebound. And Jaminsky with the board. Barkley. Charles Barkley barreling to the basket, fouled by Horace Grant. Second personal foul on Horace Grant. And don't forget, coming up in 17.9 seconds, we'll have the Prudential at the half in New York, where Bill Raftery and Pat O'Brien continue to have fun and inform you.
You know, Barkley, in preparation for this series, playoffs, on the back of his sneakers, he's got written for everybody to see, kick their butt. But it's another word used for butt. Little things like that, Barkley kind of gets your attention with. But he is a competitor. And right now, he has not produced in this half as effectively as he did in Game 3.
As a matter of fact, Barkley only has 4 points in this period, total of 10.
He's not being as aggressive as he could be or as quick as he could be in his moves to the hoop.
And could have tired legs. This is the eighth playoff game in 15 days for the Sixers. Under 3 seconds, Jordan out to Hodges. And that'll do it. That's the end of the first half with the score. Philadelphia 55, Chicago 50. Pat O'Brien and Bill Raftery will be along with the Prudential at the half after this message.
CBS Sports coverage of the 1990 NBA playoffs is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Nike, who reminds you to just do it. And by Dean Witter. Dean Witter measures success one investor at a time.
A strong shooting first half by the Sixers, led by the 18 points of Mike Jaminsky, has the Sixers holding on to a 5-point lead. Now, most coaches get inside of statistics, not taking them at face value. And as head coach of Philadelphia, Jim Lynam, told out Jim Gray, he's got concerns going into the second half.
Jimmy Lynam, your team leads by 5, shooting 60%, and Charles Barkley really not involved, only 10 points and 1 offensive rebound. A concern in the second half?
Well, the 2 areas I'm concerned about, we have 11 turnovers, which obviously makes it tough to put the ball in Charles' hands as much when you turn it like that, and they've kept the ball alive at their end. I think they have 9 offensive rebounds, so those 2 areas.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Welcome.
All right, and Tommy, again, I talked about that first half shooting of Philadelphia has done well.
Well, you see Mike Jaminsky there having a real great ball game for him. He's been the emotional leader in this first half, not Charles Barkley. And there you see Dawkins doing his thing from the outside. And Philadelphia leading 10-16 with those outsiders. And look at the points in the paint. Jaminsky to Cartwright's 2. Big edge right now, making up for the lack of scoring of Barkley, and there's the offensive rebounds that was completely in Philadelphia's favor on Friday.
As a matter of fact, Tommy, the three concerns that Phil Jackson had coming into today's game were second shot opportunities for Philadelphia on Friday night, transition points, and points in the paint. Complete turnaround for his team, so Jimmy Lynam does, in fact, have a little bit of discomfort legitimately going into the second half.
Well, there's one good sign. Charles Barkley usually doesn't play two halves the same way. So if he played a poor one here, he perhaps will have a great one. But what Chicago's really done is stop the fast break of Philadelphia. Great getting back by the big people of the Bulls.
And the other side of that notion, neither does Michael Jordan. He normally doesn't play the same in two halves. He had 17 in the first half. He'll probably go up in the second half, and up and in goes Stacey King as he drops in the running hook for his 12th point of the afternoon.
Boy, he's as nifty a low post player as I've seen come into the league.
Chicago cuts the Philadelphia lead to 3. Hawkins. And Hersey Hawkins is hit on the wrist. Earl Strom, the 32-year veteran in his final season of refereeing, used those wise old eyes. And Tommy, you've seen that a lot.
Well, I remember Earl from way back, and certainly the league is going to be missing one of the great ones because he can draw with anybody, as you're seeing right now. Gets his point across.
Did he do that as much with you as well?
He called me the S-man. Auerbach would jump up and say, Earl, call a foul. And I'd jump up and say, yeah, call a foul.
Well, that foul was called on Michael Jordan, his second. Team first. Go ahead, Tommy.
Last game, the Sixers really fed off Barkley's being double-teamed. They solved that problem beautifully. And the Bulls have packed it in a little bit more so that the likes of Hawkins and Dawkins cannot penetrate as effectively. And Barkley himself is having great difficulty in that area.
Hawkins gives the Sixers 5-point lead again. Cartwright. And Cartwright still not effective from down low. He has only 2 points, didn't score a point in game 3. Jordan strips Hersey Hawkins and is hammered by Rick Mahorn, so a graphic indication of the no layup rule that Philadelphia has instituted for this series.
And you know what Michael Jordan did after the hit? Blew a big bubble with his bubble gum. Didn't bother him, really.
He understands
Step up to the line.
Now, Jordan had indicated to our Jim Gray that he didn't grow up playing basketball this way out there on the clay courts. He said we played more finesse ball. Rick Mahorn had a nice response for him.
He said he's got to play. He should have grown up in the city. That's where you learn all this other stuff.
Well, Jordan learned everything else from somebody from Mars, indeed, because he is definitely in a world all his own. Michael Jordan dropping in his 19th point. The lead dwindled back to 3. Hawkins had to change his shot because of the excellent defense of Michael Jordan.
Not getting a shot to really get close to the basket on that penetration.
Kaminsky with the rebound. This is Barkley. And Barkley bullying his way to the basket.
They are taking his right hand away from him. They're forcing him to go left, so he has to bring the ball back to the defender.
Barkley trying to get himself fired up, which in turn will prove to be contagious for the team. Cartwright, double team, Paxson, back to Cartwright. And 3 seconds called on Stacey King.
You watch Barkley on the wing coming up on the break. They take that right hand away from him, force him just an angle back. And he's got that great leaping ability, but that is the tough shot for Charles Barkley.
Welcome to the ninth.
The excitement continues here on CBS. NBA playoffs, Eastern Conference semifinal action. Detroit and New York up in the Garden. Patrick Ewing with 45 yesterday. And out west, the Phoenix Suns have taken a 2-1 lead over the Los Angeles Lakers. And some of you will see that. Right here, an excellent game being played in the Spectrum. Game 4 of this Eastern Conference semifinal series. Chicago trailing the Sixers 59-54. Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan doing the job with 19 points. Barkley with 12.